What is up, guys? It is Marcus from Perspective Sports, and today we will be predicting the landing spots for the top 7 free agents of the 2019 NBA free agency class. And I know everyone has their own variation of who the top 7 is, and this one is mine. Number 1, we have Kevin Durant of the Golden State Warriors. Number 2, we have Kawhi Leonard of the Toronto Raptors. Number 3, we have Kyrie Irving of the Boston Celtics. Number 4, we have Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors. Number 5, we have Kemba Walker of the Charlotte Hornets. Number 6, we have Jimmy Butler of the Philadelphia 76ers. And number 7 is DeAngelo Russell of the Brooklyn Nets. I excluded Kristaps Porzingis from the top 7 because he said he wouldn't sign the extension that would pay him about $158 million over 5 seasons or $31.6 million per year with the Dallas Mavericks, but there's rumors going around that he will sign it. So either way, he'll be a member of the Dallas Mavericks next season, barring any unforeseen events occurring. And then we have DeMarcus Cousins, who I also excluded from the top 7 due to his recent injury history. His performance in the finals that definitely hurt his free agency value. I don't view him as a top 7 free agent right now. And other players who were in consideration for the top 7 were Chris Middleton of the Milwaukee Bucks, Tobias Harris of the Philadelphia 76ers, and Nikola Vucevic of the Orlando Magic. But without further ado, let's dive right into it with number 7, DeAngelo Russell, who signs with the Dallas Mavericks on a 4-year, $117.2 million max deal. Yes, this is a bit of foreshadowing, but the Dallas Mavericks and DeAngelo Russell are a nice fit. This would give the Mavericks the core of DeAngelo Russell, Luka Doncic, and Kristaps Porzingis, and I believe this will work because the backcourt of Russell and Doncic would be electric. These two players are playmakers that can create shots for themselves and also create shots for others, and that's a great thing to have. You see it in Portland, and it's really exemplified in Houston with Harden and Chris Paul. Russell and Doncic can also move around and get shots off ball. Doncic shot 37% from the field on catch-and-shoot opportunities last season, while Russell shot 39%. Also, mix Kristaps Porzingis in there. This team will be a hell of a team to watch going forward. And give him a coach like Rick Carlisle, who's done a lot more with a lot less, this team will be very good going forward. Next, we have Jimmy Butler moving on from the Philadelphia 76ers to sign a 4-year, $140 million max deal with the Brooklyn Nets. Yes, I do believe Jimmy Butler will get a max offer this season. Even if you don't view him as a max player, he is, because that's what the market will command for his services. Jimmy Butler is a complete basketball player, solid on the offensive end, an elite defender, which makes him very valuable. And I think that Jimmy Butler will choose the Nets over staying in Philadelphia for a couple of reasons. The first reason being, can the Sixers actually get better? They have the ideal roster. They pushed the Raptors to 7 games, but Tobias Harris, JJ Redick, Mike Scott are all free agents. This team could look very different next season. And if he leaves for Brooklyn, he has the opportunity to play alongside another max player, as well as have a supporting cast of players like Joe Harris, Spencer Dinwiddie, and newly acquired Taurean Prince, and they still have Jared Allen. I believe that Jimmy Butler will view the future with the Nets as a brighter future than if he were to stay with the Philadelphia 76ers. Next, we have Kemba Walker making by far the toughest decision out of everybody on this list, and I believe he will walk away from the Charlotte Hornets to sign a 4-year, $140 million max deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. I think Kemba Walker wants to win, and I believe he'll make this super tough decision to do so. He'll be walking away from an extra $80 million. The Supermax would average out to about $44.2 million per year versus the $35.23 million everyone else can offer him. That is a 25% difference per year in salary, but I believe the Lakers will make a pitch that's going to stick with Kemba as he goes through his free agency meetings. The prospect of playing with LeBron James and the finally acquired Anthony Davis, giving them the ability to immediately compete for a championship, something he's never had in Charlotte and probably will never get in Charlotte. So I do believe that Kemba will make the tough decision of walking away from the extra $80 million in Charlotte to go play in the bright lights of Los Angeles and potentially win a championship. Then we have Klay Thompson re-signing with the Golden State Warriors on a 5-year, $190 million max extension. And this is pretty open and shut as long as the Warriors don't mess things up by not offering Klay Thompson a max contract. And I think he's going to get it despite the ACL injury. The Warriors are the best fit for Klay Thompson. They're a title contender, so he doesn't have to go somewhere and hope that other players can come and team up with him to make them a contender. He has all that right there in Golden State, and I don't think he actually wants to leave there. Next, we have Kyrie Irving, who leaves the Boston Celtics to sign with the Brooklyn Nets on a 4-year, $140 million max deal. And Kyrie Irving in Boston was an experiment worth trying. As a Celtics fan, I really want Kyrie Irving to remain in a Boston Celtic uniform, but After watching this past season, it really felt like the Boston Celtics never really found a rhythm as a team. And it was almost as if they were too talented. They had guys like Gordon Hayward, an all-star, coming off the bench. Brad Stevens tried a multitude of different lineups, but none of them really clicked, and I think that hurt this team as the season wore on. Also, Celtics players continued to play what I and many other people call hero ball. Players like Marcus Morris would bring the ball up court and try to score in an ISO situation, which in turn would make other players want to do the same thing, blowing up the entire offense, giving us a cold spell, and really making it hard to hang around in games. And if we were down, it's kind of tough to come back from those. And so I think Kyrie noticed the same thing, and he wants a fresh start in his hometown with another match player like Jimmy Butler, who doesn't command the ball. He'll guard the other team's best guard, so Kyrie doesn't have to actually do that. And the Nets will allow Kyrie to play his style of basketball, his ball-dominant style of basketball, and that's why I believe Kyrie Irving will end up in a Brooklyn Net uniform. Next, we have Kawhi Leonard leaving the Toronto Raptors to sign with the Los Angeles Clippers on a 4-year, $140 million max deal. And Kawhi Leonard, despite winning the championship, I do see leaving the Toronto Raptors. It's believed the Clippers are still his #1 preferred destination, and when you think about it, they're really the perfect fit for Kawhi Leonard. Number one, it's in his hometown. I'm not the type of guy that really puts a lot of weight into the hometown argument because, at least on my personal priority list, it would be particularly low behind things like fit, management, what role I'll be filling, and stuff like that. But for Kawhi Leonard, I believe this argument fits. He's a low-key guy. He doesn't want to be on camera, doesn't really want the attention, but I do believe he wants to play for his hometown, and so he decides to play for the less popular, better-run Los Angeles Clippers, avoiding the media circus that comes with playing with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, the Buss family, the in-house fighting, all the drama. And the Clippers are the perfect fit for that. They're in his hometown. They're low-key. They're not the most popular. The cameras aren't always going to be there. And so that's exactly what I think Kawhi Leonard wants and what he'll chase in this free agency. So that's why I have him leaving the Toronto Raptors to go play for the Los Angeles Clippers. Also, when you have a coach like Doc Rivers, you have a solid supporting cast around you. I believe that the Clippers can be an immediate contender, believe it or not, with Kawhi Leonard on the roster. And finally, we have Kevin Durant re-signing with the Golden State Warriors on a 3-year, $123.85 million deal with a player option for the 3rd year, and the $123.85 million is the most that he can earn for 3 years. And I had Kevin Durant re-signing with the Golden State Warriors before he tore his Achilles. The only difference is I had KD signing one of those LeBron-like 1+1 year contracts, which gives the Warriors flexibility as well as KD the leverage to leave if he feels that he needs to. But this deal is essentially the same thing with a built-in year for recovery. I highly doubt KD will play next season, and then the year after, he will be back and healthy and able to play that 1 year before making his decision to return or not. But the reason I had Kevin Durant resigning with the Golden State Warriors no matter what was because it made no sense to leave. He would leave Golden State to do what? Try and build the exact same thing you already have in Golden State? And it'll be next to impossible to do that. There's no way that you can build a team like Golden State when you look at the talent perspective, the personalities on the team, the unselfishness, the teamwork. You're not getting that anywhere else. You have a guy like Klay Thompson, who is a 3rd option that can go for 50 and a quarter. You have Steph Curry, who can take the load off his shoulders. You have Draymond Green, the enforcer, the guy that'll get down and dirty for his team. And then you have you, Kevin Durant, the clear #1, the closer. What better situation can Kevin Durant be in outside of Golden State? You go to New York to do what? Get heckled by the media and lose. You go to Brooklyn, yeah, you and Kyrie would be solid, but that's not a Golden State. You go to the Clippers, that's not a Golden State. So it wouldn't make any sense for Kevin Durant to leave the Warriors, and that's just my opinion. I have Kevin Durant staying there for the foreseeable future. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I look forward to reading it. See you there.